What's going on, guys? We're on to the second video around the new Valorant agent Skye. Now, in the previous video, I had a look at all the overview of it, what I thought on it, and how it might be worked out, just the face value. In this video, we're going to be looking at all the abilities, the costs, how they're used, how they're utilized, but most importantly, what you guys should be doing right now to make sure you're getting all the hot, competitive Valorant content. I'm talking interviews, clutches from my own stream and crazy plays, moments of madness, and everything else around this wonderful game. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, because now we're about to get into the agent in a little bit more detail. So here we have the buy menu for the abilities. Regrowth at 200, Trailblazer at 200 as well, and Guiding Light, you get one for free at the beginning, but then you can spend the further 200, which actually then gives you 600 of your money. So you can go in with this of having all abilities and not having any shields in this to try and play it out with, if you want to do it that way. So you can have 3 flashes and both the abilities active and ready to start off with. So if you want to be one of those players without any armor running around, then it's certainly an option of what you can try use and make work here. And I actually think that's a cool idea here, because very ability heavy, very on the execute side, maybe more for an attacking pistol round, right, where you'd crazy go into a site. Imagine having a breach alongside as well with all the flashes. I like the price points of these. I like the fact she's got 3 of the flashes that can be used in there with the Guiding Light. And I think it's going to be all very important that she always has the regrowth as well, especially for the heals that will come in there. And I'll show you later on, the heals are very strong, very impressive at how it works and how it goes down. So we're starting off with the healing ability of Skye. This is called Regrowth, like we looked at earlier. And look at what it can do. A big radius of effect. I'm going to show you guys from my own footage as well, because this footage was kindly provided by Riot. But you can see 100 charge up there. You don't just want to waste it on maybe 1 or 2 players, because look what it can do to your whole team here within just the charge that she has, all the way up back to full health. Now this is great. You might go into a site, you take some damage, but you're not dead yet. You're pushing on forward. You've secured the site, but the rotation from the other team members are going to come through. Well, then you can heal them all back up and work your way into it. Yes, okay, she can't heal herself, but this is where maybe we have a bit of strategy around defending her, keeping her safer in moments like this. And remember, with this, while she's channeling it, she cannot get a weapon out. She cannot fight. She has to hold on, continue pressing the left click button down, or the fire button, depending on what you've got it bound to out there. And also another important factor, when she is using this healing, obviously she's got to be able to see them. They've got to be in like line of sight or in the radius within this of what she's seeing, as you can see from the glow around the outside. Let's take a look at it in some more detail as well. Now here we have me and my co-commentator Mitch testing out the regrowth together. Obviously we were given access to this, so we're checking it out on a bit more detail than what we just sent in terms of the files. We're looking at what can be done with it, how it can be worked out. Already look up to the mini map and see how much of a range in an open spot on a map, on a bigger map, right, in a location where there's a lot more players around you. That's a huge amount of ground where she can cover some channeled healing off on here. You can see I'm just showing you now that you have to be in line of sight. Doesn't work before that. We're running it up. Mitch is just boosting himself, updrafting as high as possible, do some extra damage to himself. I can't do any damage to him. Try and make that work. So he damages himself up. I practice with how it all works out. And there you go. See it get chained down. The healing goes on up. Really like how the healing works on this agent. I actually was a bit worried when I thought about the healing coming into play, considering how we've seen it before with the Sage and stuff. This has been well thought out, and the fact that she can't just straight get in the fight. You have to be super defensive and super careful on how you're going to use this. And again, I'm just displaying the radius here again for you guys to look at how far it can be done as long as they're in line of sight. Very solid stuff coming out here. And this makes the regrowth a very interesting ability for this character. Now we're going to take a look at the Trailblazer ability. This is the Tasmanian tiger that you transform into. Now, this could be used for even information plays, but it also, depending on obviously how much damage it's able to put out, could potentially net you a kill. You run around a corner, jump and leap onto them with the left click. It could do some serious damage. But the great part of this is that it does a concussive blast, which means it will stun some of the enemies, like you can see above here on the Omen's head. I'm going to show you it in game as well. It can be destroyed like her other abilities, but this one's going to add a really fun kind of scouting mechanic to it as well. And if players are just waiting around the corner, well, they can find themselves in for a world of hurt. Now here we have the Trailblazer in action. You can see straight away there's a green mist around, which means you don't have the same vision as you would on your normal agent, which gives the opponents a chance, right? So they can be able to take it down. So you need to be fast and furious with it. You can also see when you press the Q, there's a little red line down there at the bottom, which shows how much time you have to use it and activate it. When you left click, it pushes on forward, it leaps, it does some damage, and you can see you can take full control, have a bit of a run around with it, but it will cause them to be stunned a bit. Such a great ability. It's going to be very interesting how it's used even for information plays. I'm excited to get things going with it, and most importantly, I'm excited to see how creative teams can get with this, because I think there's endless possibilities to how this ability can be used. Now we're going to show off the Guiding Light flash ability using the Hawk. Now this is what's really smart, and this is where it can get great even for single play, right? When you're maybe solo and on your own trying to make it work. Look at this. When you first launch it out, you put it down. If you press the E and hold it and don't pull your gun back out, because you can just fire it off in a straight line wherever your crosshair's painting, you can actually guide it, control it. Really smart. And this is now down to the direction of your crosshair. Then you press the ability again mid-flight to transform the Hawk into a flash, and it flashes out the enemy. You can poke on them. So there's multiple ways of using the Guiding Light to your advantage here. And what's great, you get one every time you spawn anyway. You get 1 point anyway, but you can have multiple. You can have up to 3 of them in action at one time. I can see how creative and crazy this is going to get. Again, it's got a timer on it. We'll come into that in the footage in just a second. But there's just so many possibilities with this, and this is getting me really excited once again. This agent is really cool. So now we're going to be using the Guiding Light and showing you just how it works. Now here, I'm showing you just a few of the things that are kind of the negatives for me, because I've shown you on the riot footage, the curve and how you can control it with your crosshair. You can fire it out in a straight line, which is great. And that actually means that you can grab your weapon back out straight away. So you can fire it out, like we're about to do in just a second, put it on forward, and then go straight in for the battle again. But you can also change the height and the direction of it all as well. So you can put it at multiple distances in terms of how you want to use it. And it's got a bit more of a time on it than compared to the Trailblazer. As you can see, you can distance it, pop it, and then come back out. The only problem is that once you hit to activate it, so when you see the flash actually pop out, you can't get your gun back out, and it takes a couple of seconds. So that's a bit delayed in that. I'm not a fan of it. I can assume there's a huge reason for it, but I think that's the negative on how this can work. Obviously, if you're controlling it anyway, and you can guide it, right? Guide it around the corner, that kind of thing, then you're not going to have a problem with that. It's not going to be an issue. But you can see here, I was testing out the height, so I was testing out the distance of what it can be used at. I was testing out how much you can get flashed. You can see here. We'll also see when I turn away from the flash what it's able to do. But for 3 charges of this, multiple different ways of using it, throwing it up high, trying to make them shoot it maybe. You can even just use it as a bit of a distraction. There's so many possibilities with this that I'm really excited to see what the pro scene is going to be able to do. Because actually, I think when it comes to this agent in general, the possibilities truly are endless. Getting on to the ultimate, the final ability for Skye that we haven't covered yet. I love this ability. It can be used in many different ways straight off the bat. It'll seek down 3 enemies once you fire it out, and it'll near sight them if it does connect. They can destroy it like all the other abilities in there, but this can be used even just to find out where the location is. If they're too far away, you can actually follow it. And this one, it really has so many different ways we can make this work. I'm excited to see how crazy and chaotic this is going to happen when this ultimate is popped in game. Now this is where we're going to be using the Seeker ult. I'm asking our jet to kindly hide away, and you can follow it around. So you may not know where the enemy is. Get some extra information. Oh, they're right here as well. Jumps on top of them. They're nearsighted, and then you go in for the kill. Nicely fun way of getting it done. Now I also want to try this at some distance as well to see how far the ultimate can be pushed. So we decided to put him. I have no idea where he is on the map, by the way. Literally zero idea. I just told him to go hide somewhere completely random. I send out the Seeker. I'm chasing it. Now it can go quite fast. I realize it started to get away from me a bit here. So depending on the distance you use it at, you might want to be slightly more cautious with it. But look, I'm able to find him from this position. It runs straight at him. They can destroy it though. That's the very important point that you need to know, is that they can destroy the ultimate. So it's not like, oh, it just seeks him out and instantly near sights him. It's not a guarantee with it. I'm going to show you that here. There you go. He can shoot it out. He can take it down. So to be used in a chaotic situation where there's loads of madness going on, could find a lot of success of it. But it's great of even just giving you the information to hunt them on down with. So I'm a big fan of this ultimate. I can't wait to see how it's going to be used in pro play. And that is it. We've taken a look at Skye in detail. If you're just here on the abilities video and you didn't quite see my overview video, go on to the video up on the right hand side. And then if you want to see some more in-game footage from me owning it up on Arena, click on the video on the left hand side. And if you don't want to do any of that, well, what would mean a lot to me, and it would be really appreciated if we try and grow the channel, is by you hitting the subscribe button. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you out, and go off, frag out, and enjoy Valorant, and enjoy this brand new agent. It's going to be so, so good.